I'll
The
try
new
to
American
make this
novel.
quick, okay? But I wanted to read you my will.
Okay.
That's a little different.
I will
Wow.
to Ron Brooks.
We're just going to end in a cat fight.
The
as
precious
long as we keep it
moment
upbeat.
of being up all night at a hospital in Baton Rouge and standing there by his side as we both looked through the glass at his firstborn daughter, Elizabeth. And I treasure the way he blinked his eyes. And he rubbed them and he blinked them some more. It's like he could not get enough looking in at that firstborn daughter. That was a special moment to share with you. Sandy, I tell both of my girls it's wonderful to live long enough that your children are no longer children, they can become your friends. My daughters are my friends. Sandy has really been my friend since she was 3 years old, really. But I treasure the moment that we had in Boonville, Arkansas. We went with my friend up there to visit her husband who was in the hospital. And I dressed her up in a beautiful pink dress. It's kind of a pink sateen. And we went out to lunch in this nice restaurant. They put her in a higher chair with a
Tray.
it had a tray there and all. But somehow she managed to turn her tray over completely upside down. On her new dress, all over the floor, partly on me. And the ironic thing, she did not cry. I was calm. We very graciously excused ourselves and went to the restroom, and she tried to help clean up, which was typical of her personality all her life. She has always been a lady and sensible, and whenever there's a situation, she deals with it in a gracious manner. And I was amazed and so proud. My friend said, I can't believe that Sandy, she didn't cry, she didn't cut up or anything, she just went to cleaning up. You know, that's just a special memory there. Plus she used to help me paint walls. When she was 6 years old, she painted baseboards and I'd do the walls. She continues to be my friend, always, as well as a precious daughter. Linda, as y'all know, Linda was always been spirited. I used to have to chase her through the house. I chased her in church. She tried to climb out of her crib when she was just able to get one leg up on the edge, and there was a window there. We caught her just in time one day. But she was such a joy. She would sit there early in the morning before Cliff and I woke up. She would be in her crib, bouncing up and down, just laughing, and just such a pleasure there. The most precious moment, Linda, with you has been when you were exiting your teen years, after some stormy years there. You were on the bed in our back bedroom, and you lay there and you said, Mom, I heard God speak to me, and he said, you are my child. That was a profound moment. I knew you had exited that difficult period and that you're going to be all right at that point. Don, my special moment with you was, was when I came home from Oklahoma City After that wonderful wedding for my niece, I smelled corned beef and cabbage in a big pot on the stove. And I found a happy husband that had been well cared for. And I think it had a good time while I was gone over the New Year holiday. And you made a big difference right there. Did you know that? Elizabeth, oh, I could say so much. My firstborn grandchild, I was right there with Ron. You know, my eyes were blinking too, okay? And my most precious moment with you, we were upstairs in the bedroom, on the bed, having a girl talk. And you expressed your feelings about a lot of things, and we were talking about life. And the profound thing was that you talked about being how we have to live in the world, but we don't have to be of the world. You made that distinction very clear. You have lived your life that way. I've seen it grow. And at that moment, that was a precious moment because I knew you were grounded in faith. And that meant a lot to me at that time. Slade. First met Slade in a nice restaurant in New Orleans. Papa and I were sitting over here in a booth.
He's over here.
Where is Slade? And there was a whole bunch of young men and women that were in a Sunday school class at First Baptist Church there, I believe. And I looked them all over, looked at best friends there, you know, and I did Papa with the elbow, you know. I said, see that one right there? That's the one I pick out for Beth. He's the best looking one of them. And it wasn't long until you came over and talked to us some more. I said, yeah, that's the one I picked out. So I've not been sorry. Thank you. I couldn't have asked for better. So I just want you to know that. That was a special moment in my memory there. Bonnie, whenever you were a baby, y'all lived over in, what's the name?
South down west?
No, when she was a baby.
Oh,
We had a 2-story house.
Oh, in New, in
in
Canada.
Chateau
Medon,
Estate.
Medon,
Chateau
4140.
Very nice subdivision over there. And I found every excuse I could find for business in New Orleans. If it was real estate, I was one I wanted to go. And I even went to dentists over there. It's a long drawn out thing. Primarily so I could come and see the baby, see Bonnie, and have her greet me at the door. She used to run, Mimi, Mimi, Mimi. You just don't know. You know, Linda knows how that feels. Nothing like it. Oh boy. She was a cutie pie. And just a few weeks ago, I had that joy again. She put me in a chair and cut and fixed my hair, gave me the royal treatment. I went to pay her. She would not take my money. And just love meant everything. Special. And the other one, those two together, a special memory is putting on brown matching dresses with full skirts. And I couldn't see if they fit too well because y'all were twirling so much.
Because they had bells on the bottom
Yes,
of
they
them.
did.
It's like at
You had a dress with bells on it?
You had two. Brown ones and pink ones with ruffles everywhere.
Jason, I think the first time I saw you, I was up on the ladder at 221 Meandering Way, painting. Our house was not finished. And we walked through the house, and I'm like this. I'm having to look up at this good-looking guy. And I said something about, what do I do about these floors? And he looked at it and he said, well, I think you could carpet over here and over here, maybe put brick down the middle. I ended up putting brick everywhere. I wish I'd listened to you.
Well, you're welcome.
But anyway, Bonnie had met us in a booth at the Piccadilly cafeteria before this. And she said, his name is Jason. Oh, well, tell us about him.
Tell us about
Well,
it.
I like him. He's good looking. We couldn't wait to meet you. Anyway, never been disappointed. Just, and I've never seen a mother come in and want to do for the in-laws and have all the parties and all the wedding festivities. Bonnie, I think you're just so fortunate with his parents too. And I can't help but notice through the years the attention that you give your sons and all, and how much that means to see my granddaughter happy. Okay, he was a good-looking guy. Brooks. At the moment that he said, Mimi, I really think you ought to go to the hospital. I think you ought. He was a man. He wasn't my grandson, my little grandson anymore. He was like a grown man taking care of his grandmother. I had choked a big old pill that morning that just seemed to hang in my throat all day. And he took care of me just like an MD. I'm telling you, the maturity there, he had helped me organize my address book and a whole bunch of other things there. But that was a special moment to see the maturity that he had at that young age. And that kind of sticks right here too, okay?
When was it?
And
2 summers ago.
Mary Todd. Here's Mary Todd. Here she is. Look at our model girl coming along here, nice and tall. But when she was about 6 years old, she got out of the mother's station wagon, I believe, at that time. And I grabbed her hand and I talked to her gently, and she looked up at me and was so ladylike. And I felt like we communicated at that moment real well. But one of my special moments, I'll include your little brother with this, was you spent a few days and we sewed badges on scouting vests that you and Evan had earned. And you were very patient, and I let you sew on the sewing machine and you helped you turn them, and you did really well at it, and you were very patient with it. Now Evan, on the other hand, was very high. That same day, he had his badges, but Evan didn't have much patience at that moment. He found out how to hit the pedal on that machine and how to make it go. It might as well have been an automobile that you tried. Let's get with it. So, I mean, he raced that sewing machine. But anyway, eventually we got his badges on too there. But his most memorable moment was one day when you came over with your mother, and we went to Copeland's to eat lunch. But you were the perfect little gentleman. You took your grandmother by the arm and escorted me in. And affectionate and loving. And if you treat the women in your life as well as you treated me that day, you will make it okay. You will. I have no doubt. Just watch out. But that was kind of special. That the manners, good training there. And Frankie. Very confident young lady, and she's always been her own person. Frankie thinks for herself. And one day, I was, as I've always done, correct my grandchildren. You know, don't do this, don't do that, do that. But I had said, you got to watch your manners now. And if you want friends, this is what you do. Frankie said, but Mimi, I have lots of friends at school. They all like me. And they do. And she's exactly right. And she knows how to make friends, and she's nice to everybody. And smart. We went to Awana together. Those were special nights, weren't they? There when we go family night supper and everything. Now, Brittany, I have very special moments with you. You were brought to my bedroom straight from the hospital in the crib we had set up for you. And you cried a lot. You
I
were
still do.
And very beautiful. You had the prettiest little face. But the most special moment was she was born December the 21st. And Aunt Sandy, being the wonderful hostess that she's always been, had the family over for Christmas Eve. And she had this great big huge tree in her recessed floor living room. And your mother and dad came in with you in a pink blanket and put you under the tree. And those little colored lights shone on your face, and you were classic features there, just a beautiful little baby. And all of a sudden, I felt like heaven had come down in our midst right there. I really did. And I was so thankful. You were a healthy baby. You were beautiful. I was proud of my granddaughter. And I was thankful to the Lord. And I felt His presence. I prayed for your life. And it was just a beautiful scene. I just thought, what? I thought about the Christ child, because you were so close to Christmas, you see, when Jesus was born.
Right.
So that was really special. And it's one more little thing with her. I had the privilege of her spending a lot of time in my home, and before she'd go to sleep, I would rub her back in her arms, and she'd say, barely touch Mimi, because if I barely touch, the goosebumps would come up. You know? And so I'd do her back, and she'd say, barely touch Mimi, barely touch. So that's really special.
I love that.
Brian,
Tickle scratch.
It's not that, Ryan.
in the trailer that was across the street from the office, we had Gina K. Building Company in there, where Pepper and I were building houses. Later, I added drapery and rug samples, carpet samples that I sewed there. And I had a piece of lattice work on the wall that I was attaching little brackets to hang the drapery samples on. And I was trying to get that thing up, and I had the hammer there, You must have been 3 years old at that time. But you said, Mimi, let me have that hammer. I can do that for you. So that impressed me quite a bit. Brian is still saying, Mimi, I can do that for you. He installed a sump pump in my backyard that takes the water out of my yard now, and he did a most efficient job where I had Andy come 5 or 6 times to do it, but he didn't know quite how to do it. Brian figured all that out. He's still helping me when I need him, and it's been really special there. Daniel. Okay. First saw you at Victory Christian Church. I'd heard a lot about you from Brittany. And Cliff and I, we were going that day, I believe, to either go out to eat, maybe take y'all out to eat. But we had not met you, really. And we found him when we walked in. He was in prayer. He had his head bowed. We came quietly, sat down by him, and waited until he finished his prayer. And we didn't talk because the preacher was there. We didn't talk to him until after the service. But I'm looking at him, and I'm looking, here's this tall, good-looking guy, and here's this short Brittany, you know. But anyway, we got acquainted that day. Later, my memorable moment was him favoring Cliff and I with the last night out that Cliff and I had, night on the town. He rented a limousine and picked Cliff and I up at our door and took us to the sweetheart banquet at Victory Christian Church. He and Brittany both looked wonderful that night. I dressed the best I could. I think it's the last picture I put on Facebook too. But anyway, it was a great evening. We had a wonderful, he went and ordered a special meal from Outback for, not Outback.
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
For Papa, because Papa was on this strict diet at that time. And that was special consideration, and that sticks in your heart also. Thank you for that. Now, Mercy, the caboose, is that all right? She's our youngest, but her mother was in school, and I had the privilege and the joy of keeping her, well, till her mother got home. And when I would put her on my bed, in my bedroom, to change her clothes, and change her diaper. And every time, we had this big portrait here of Papa and I on the wall. And she couldn't talk very much. She hadn't learned to talk yet, just a baby. But she'd say, Papa, Mimi, Papa, Mimi, every time. Never failed, every time I would do that. And so that's really special. And to go to Home of Christian, when they give you all those awards, I'm going to write that down too, because that's special too. So that's these precious moments I'm passing on to all of you, all very special. One more, Aaron. Aaron, you're part of my heart, darling. Aaron has been really right there, is like a daughter to me. She takes care of me a lot. She takes wonderful care of Frankie. And I will remember our trip to Hot Springs and spending the night in that little old camper, all of us together. But I gave you a title, the Navigator. She was a wonderful Arkansas navigator. So that concludes my will and testament. Porter, got two more over here. Porter. Where's
He's over
Porter?
here.
There he is. I remember going to your home in Denver and how you introduced me real good to Harley. Remember Harley? But anyway, I think you were the most gentle, sweet little gentleman. And you were very sweet to Mimi. And you took me by the hand and you let me pet Harley. And we walked out in the backyard and I looked out into this big open field behind your house out there. And I think we went walking out there some. You had some outdoor furniture, some picnic furniture and all. But we had a special time there. And the thing that stands out about Porter is that he's had a gentle spirit. We played games at my house. We played dominoes together. Remember those? And but he's always so neat. When he finished a glass, he'd pick it up and bring it to the kitchen table. And if there was anything wet on the table, just naturally he'd go and wipe it up. Gonna make a good husband one day. And Miles, you bear the Stover name. That was Papa's mother's maiden name. Did you know that? Yeah. Her name was Frances Stover, and you got that as your middle name. But I've always loved your smile, because you know when I look at your smile, I see Bonnie also. And but the thing that I have enjoyed the most with you two is going to Baton Rouge on your birthdays, celebrating your birthdays, because y'all were close together, both August birthdays. But your daddy had fixed one of these things, I don't know what they're called. I call them the zingers.
Zip line.
Anyway, this big old thing on the cable, and you ride it all the way across. So we did that, and we had a baseball game, and I watched y'all play baseball. Wonderful baseball. That was really fun. So that's a precious moment for me. Today is a special moment, really. Love all of you very much. I just thank you. I did not expect all of this. I really didn't. I thought I had my birthday the other day.
Well, since it was on a Thursday, it's kind of hard to get us all together for
I
that.
know, but having all of you here at one time, I'll just go home and say, this is my most favorite birthday. Naturally, it's my last one. Time being. Okay,
Time being.
gotta wait for that other one.
Clap now.